Hello and welcome to how to implement Microsoft Passwordless Authentication and improve security. My name is Sasha and I'm Microsoft Azure MVP and Microsoft Certified Trainer, as well as MCT Regional Lead, as well as the CEO of Cloud Attack IT training and consulting company and cloud architecture company as well. I'm certified as counsel instructor, and here's my Twitter handle should you if you want to get in contact. So today we will talk about implementation of passwordless authentication in Microsoft Cloud specifically, and here is the journey, and you can clearly see that here is where are we today, in between second and third point towards the transition where users actually are using strong authentication instead of passwords, but we are still very much from complete elimination of passwords from identity directory. We are in a good way, and here are some tools that we can use it. They're not all the tools, but here we will talk about these two: Windows Hello for Business and Microsoft Authenticator. So a few words about authentication. We have to authenticate, we are using today passwords, which are clearly a bad choice, but we still have to an option to use the multi-factor authentication, in fact two-factor authentication, where the second factor of authentication is SMS and probably voice, but these two methods are practically, well, not so good, because they can be easily circumvented. The better choice would be to use a Microsoft Authenticator or software token or hardware token, where you can generate one-time password, or for example Microsoft Authenticator, where you can actually confirm the login challenge. So the best and most secure use would be to use Windows Hello, to use passwordless, with Microsoft Authenticator and with FIDO2 security keys. So a few words about passwordless, where passwordless actually stands in between all these factors. So if we have on one side inconvenience and convenience, and if we have high security and low security, you can clearly see that passwordless authentication actually gives us the best of two worlds. It gives us the secure enough option to log in, and the most convenient one, because it's convenient. Passwordless authentication is convenient as password, but is much more secure. What is FIDO actually? Why FIDO keys, and what FIDO means? FIDO means Fast Identity Online. It's a standard-based interoperable authentication, and it's based on public key cryptography. So biometrics and keys never leave the device, for example, and it can protect against phishing, man-in-the-middle, and replay attacks. So what are the benefits of passwordless authentication? So first of all, it's increased security. We are reducing the risk of phishing and password spray attacks by removing password, for example, as an attack surface. Then we have robust insights. So with passwordless activity, we also get insights how users use this activity, and with extensive logging and auditing. And we also have a better user experience. So we have the option to give our users the very convenient and easy way how they can access data from from actually anywhere, with using a very secure authentication method. So we can then easily provide easy access to applications and services such as well-known OneDrive, Office, Outlook, etc. So with passwordless actually authentication, we are using something that we have, such as the password, and something that we are, or something we know. So for example, in Windows Hello for Business, we can use a biometric gesture like fingerprint, or a PIN that is not transmitted over network and which stays on the device. So if you compare passwordless authentication using a PIN and authentication without PIN, actually, where the PIN is using PIN is secure because that PIN is stored only on your device, and that PIN is never transmitted over network. So what are the passwordless authentication methods? Let's go quickly over them. So we have Microsoft, we have Windows Hello for Business. We have which is the best option for users on Windows devices. We have then a Microsoft Authenticator app, whether it's iOS or Android phone. We can actually use passwordless method to sign in to any platform or to any browser. We do that by getting notified on our phones and matching the response with the number displayed on the screen to the one on our phones, and then using biometrics data or PIN to confirm, for example. Then we also have a security key sign, which uses the FIDO2 security keys. It is the best security method to use because it's we always have with ourselves something that we own, something physical. And in this case, FIDO2 security key, which can then authenticate. We must actually physically touch the key in order to be able to sign in. The list of FIDO keys providers is not the exclusive one. This is the list that I've used. So Yubico, Phishing, and Trustkey Solution are the ones that I've used the most, and Gemalto as well. But any of these will work. So, for example, Yubico has very convenient ones with the USB-A and USB-C, as well as with the NFC and touch support as well. So these are the just samples of phishing keys and trust key or AWBM keys that we can use. But let's see actually how we can implement passwordless authentication in Azure Active Directory. So what do you have to do to enable passwordless authentication? Log into Azure portal, then click on Azure Active Directory, and then go to User Settings, Manage User Feature Preview Settings. So under the users can use the combined security information registration experience, click Selected or All to select some users, or to select all users that can use the combined security information registration experience. And why it is grayed out? Because after August 15, 2020, all new Azure AD tenants will be automatically enabled for combined registration. So once you've done that, you can easily close that because we don't need that. And afterwards, head to Security tab. Go to Authentication Methods, and under Authentication Methods, Policy, which is in preview now, enable FIDO2 security key and or Microsoft Authenticator passwordless sign in. First, click on FIDO2 security key, click Enable Yes. You can target all users or some users. Don't forget to click Save, and after that, go to the Microsoft Authenticator passwordless sign in and do the same. So enable, target all users or selected users, and click Save. After you've done that, you need to log out. So let's go and set up the MFA for the administrator account. Click Next. Let's set up the Microsoft Authenticator app on Android. So let's click Next. We have to scan the QR code. Let's wait a few seconds. Then there is the Approve Sign In screen on the mobile phone. I click Approve, and that's it. So after a second or two, we will get the notification approved. Let's go and click Next. And once again, I'll have to enter the mobile phone and set up the phone as well. Let's do that. And after entering the mobile phone number, entering the SMS code that I've received, click Next, and then the SMS is verified. Your phone was registered successfully. You should see the green sign. Then click Next, and of course you'll see the success message. So you have successfully set up your security info. Choose Done to continue signing in. Let's click Done. Now that we have MFA in place, we can sign in using MFA and begin enrolling the security key. Let's go at the account. So view account, then go and click security info. You'll see default sign-in method, Microsoft Authenticator notification. You can change that and change whether you want to use the phone or SMS. Microsoft Authenticator notification. So when you choose that option, you will be able to use the notification to respond, or Authenticator app or hardware token code. So I will click back, and then I will add an additional method of authentication, which can be security key. So let's pick security key, then click add. To set up a security key, you need to sign in with two-factor authentication. So this will prompt us to authenticate once again for security purposes. Next. Then the next step would be setting up the security key. We can choose the type of the security key that we have. It can be USB device or NFC device. I'll click the USB device, since I'll use the Yubico NFC C, 5C, which is the uses the USB-C port. Have a key ready. So when you choose next, you will be prompted to plug your security key into the USB port. And then I have to touch the button or the sensor on the security key. So to finish setting up your device. So the passwordless authentication actually needs the physical to touch. So click next. You'll get a message that you have to set up your security key. So let's see what's below that. So your PC will open a window to finish setting up your security key. So here you have to insert your key. Let's do that. Inserting the key USB-C in the USB-C port. Then I'll click OK. It will make you continue setup. It will let login.microsoft.com see the make and model of your security key, etc. Let's click OK. It's pretty straightforward. All you have to do is enter your security PIN for the key that you've set up before. If it's incorrect, you have to enter it again, of course. After entering the key correctly, you have to touch your security key. Okay, I've done this. And then you've registered successfully your FIDO2 key for passwordless authentication. I will name it. It is the Yubico 5C security key. And click next. Now this key is all set up and available for passwordless authentication. So let's try this, how this works. Click done. Now I've completely logged out. I have pulled out Yubico 5C security key. It's not inserted. And I can also enter the email address or any email account that I've registered for passwordless authentication. In this case, I will use this one, admin. I'll have to use either password or sign in with the security key. I see that I have two options here available, but this is the way how I've set it up. So if I want to sign in with the security key, all I have to do is click here, insert the key. I have inserted a key. I have to type in PIN, press enter, and then touch the key, and voila, that's it. I logged in. Do I have to stay signed in? In this case, no, I don't need to. I'm signed in. So without typing any password, without actually typing anything, I've been able to sign in into the Azure portal, into the Office 365. I've used the passwordless authentication in Azure Active Directory. Thank you very much for watching and enjoy the rest of the conference.